All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We got ourselves a big series here between Hero in the bottom left side of the map and Dark in the top right side of the map as well. And they are starting on an 8-worker mod. Dark has built an Overlord too early, I believe. I think you should probably be going for... Maybe not, actually. Maybe that's right. Maybe 9 Overlord is the right way to do it. This is an 8 supply worker starting mod, and we are going to be seeing, of course, the players just getting on in here and seeing how they adapt. I don't think either player's had a chance to practice on it, but we're going to have a bunch of time of these players. KSL starts in about an hour and 45 minutes, so if these games are super long, we will shorten the series to a best of 5, but otherwise we're most likely looking at a best of 7 between the two, depending on how it goes. Now, of course, a lot of players basically haven't played on 6 workers since Heart of the Swarm, and they haven't really tried any other mods with other worker counts. The reason I've been testing this is I really love the flow of 8 workers. I feel like the tech kicks in so much faster compared to where your economy is. It's not a crazy difference, but it's enough that it just feels like it just opens up a few more options and just makes the economy scale a little bit less drastically. Now, one thing we might look at in the future testing this mod is changing the mineral values so they don't mine out as fast on the bases. But I think it's close enough, 8 workers to a 12-worker start. You've only gone down by 33%, 1/3 of the economy, that I think it actually works out quite okay. Now, it is hatch gas pool here for Dark. Hero is going to go for a gate gas. And you'll notice he's just pulled 1 worker off minerals onto gas, and he's going to go for a nexus. So both guys are going for very similar openings. This is what you expect. First time getting used to the mod, figuring things out. They're just going to do the same builds, but the supply is going to be a little modified. Now, notice Hero's supply blocked on 20, and he's going to be supply blocked kind of badly, and that's just, you know, the way it is if you want to go for a gate gas into the Nexus here. There's an argument that you should not be going for the gas that early. And I would say not just, yeah, I don't know, maybe it's kind of interesting. Like, Nexus first could actually be really, really a huge difference maker compared to an 8-worker. But there's naturally going to be some little supply blocks here and there anyway. Now, remember, Hatchery only gives 3 supply. Dark didn't build an Overlord. I told them before. I was like, Nexus only gives you 12 supply. It doesn't give you it doesn't give you the full 15. And Hatcheries only give you 3, not 6. So Dark literally can't build a queen right now. So he's sending a drone out to the 3rd. I love watching the pro players try and problem solve in real time. Now, the main reasons why I enjoy experimenting with these changes is I do think StarCraft needs a shake-up, and changing the workers basically messes everyone's builds up, and I think that alone basically changes the entire meta enough, opens up enough chance for mistakes, variation, different things like that. But the bigger thing that I really, really enjoy about this is, like I said, tech being faster, and I want to iterate this early on in the show match because I know there's a lot of comments of people who don't understand, you know, why do you want to look at this? The other one is I like the pacing of there being more early skirmishes where you're fighting with small numbers of low-tier units and it doesn't explode to 3 bases full of workers and just massive armies so quickly. I like it when the small-scale micro lasts a little bit longer. For me, that's a personal pacing preference that I think makes the game a bit more approachable for players who aren't Clem. And I'm talking about myself as well. Like, for me, I find the flow of the game more enjoyable. You could say it's less stressful, but you can also say maybe it's less satisfying because you don't get into the action as quickly. Either way, Adepts here already forcing a reaction, second Adepts on the way, and that Oracle coming across could cause some big problems. 27 workers for Dark, 40 for Hero, and they're both supply blocked. You can see the unfamiliarity with this. Their builds are going to be sloppy as crap. So a lot of people, they always say, what are you trying to prove, Pig? What are you trying to prove? And I go, oh, nothing. I just want to see what these games look like. That's all. They go, well, what's the test? Like, what's the scientific test here? And I go, there's no science going on. If you do changes that are meant to add more variety and openings, over a course of thousands of games, you'll see more openings and variety. You're not going to see that until you see thousands of games. I can't fund these guys to play thousands of games. I'd love to have millions of dollars. I don't have millions of dollars, guys. Honestly, I just want to see what the games look like, feel the flow of it, just get more of a sense for what it feels like, very much on an intuitive level. There is no, I also have some games I look at and I benchmark when tech kicks in and how fast their economy grows compared to game timer. I've compared that a little bit, but there's no set, this is going to prove this or that. I know that objectively, economy outscales tech, currently with the 12-worker start, pretty drastically, and this would move it a bit back in the other direction. The end result of which, of course, there's many unknowns. This is already really good damage from Hero, guys. 3 drones and 3 Zerglings. Not a bad start. But Dark's done a good job of handling the chaos. I'm surprised he still doesn't have a spore in the main or the third, though. With 2 oracles roaming the map, he's really relying on the mobile queen defense, and he's doing a very good job of it. Behind this, third base coming in as well as a Twilight Council. Neither side has leaned into a heavy attack just yet or rushing tech. It's very much following the standard best practices from 12 worker starts. And I think this is exactly how I played my first 5-10 games on this mod as well. And then over time, I realized just how many more strategies that would be actually just insanely bad on 12 workers were still big gambles, but a bit more viable on this mod. And then that's something over time I found some really fun kind of options that could be mixed in there. Things like, you know, rushing 2-base Tekka Zerg and really delaying my third, I found is way better on this mod than it is in 12 workers, and a few things like that. Now, Adept Oracles still being a nuisance, and look at those Oracles. They're waiting there. Lings are on top along with the Queens, though. Good defense by Dark. Dark's all over it, and Dark's up 10 workers right now. It's actually kind of big. I like that the Lings pull away, let the Queens keep dealing damage. Adepts aren't threatening the workers right now, and he cancels. He does cancel the Shade. Oracles are killing the 4th hatchery right now as well, guys. He just canceled the 4th hatchery. Good reaction by Dark. Dark loses 7 drones, 10 Zergs, but he kills 6 Adepts. Yes, his 4th base got denied, but he's got a new one up top. Dark is flowing and playing quite greedy right now, and he's looking really good. Hero is supply blocked once again here on 84, and that's going to be something we're going to see over and over again, is those constant supply blocks. I remember it was so weird for me, my first few games I played on this mod. It took me so many to the point where I just built a habit of just build pylons more than you're used to building. And you might think, well, like, what's the difference? I mean, it's the Nexus is only giving 9 less supply across 3 Nexus. Same with the 3 hatcheries. It doesn't seem like it should make that much of a difference, but it's also just because the build isn't as familiar. It's easier to get caught off by that supply block. So that's why I made the habit of build more overlords, build more depots, build more pylons, and just keep a bit of a bigger gap than I'm used to. Ling comes in. 67 workers for Dark, 61 for Hero. Hero's got that blink pressure on the front. Blink is done, but no +1. His Forge is very late. It's up, but he hasn't started upgrading just yet. If he can deny this base, that'll be massive. The Lings and the Queens coming forward. Creep Tumor snipes. Hero just split-fired and took out both Creep Tumors. That was really nice. I'd love to see Dark add another Tumor, but with the hatchery, it kind of does the same job. Oh, he A-moves into the stasis trap. It's a little bit nasty right now. Dark may have been too greedy. 74 workers on an 8-worker start mod. And I'm not sure how familiar the players are with the theory, but theoretically, just building workers is going to be weaker on this mod because they're going to have a bit less time to pay off compared to when these attacks will potentially hit. It's a subtle change, but it's something where, oh my god, Hero's going Stargate Tempest. He's already going +1, or Carriers behind. I don't know if he's going Carriers or Tempest. He's rushing into that late game tech. Nice focus on the stasis trap. Dark's Transfuse is holding on right now. Dark's supply is incredibly scary. He's got Hydras coming out. Groove Spines is on the way. It's not here just yet, but he's got +1 range coming in as well. Dark's holding on really well with this mass queen opening. This is all of his queens on the front though, which means he's not injecting right now. So he's going to start floating minerals the longer this goes. Hydras and queens push it back. He's got a 6th hatchery, 5th hatchery. I feel like he's got a macro hatchery as well. Dark's trying to go straight to 8 hatcheries. So even though he's missing a few injects, he holds on. He builds 6 more workers, 9 more workers, and the gas is Dark. Wow, living his best greed life. Hero's taking a 4th base. He's going to rush Mama. Mama, let's go. Mama starts up. So, okay, that's why he's rushing the Fleet Beacon. Hero going for Mama. At 9 minutes, we're already at 150 supply, and you can see how 8 workers... I thought it was going to be so slow, but when the players both choose to play macro builds similar to 12-worker start, it feels like we're not that further behind, right? When the players choose to play exactly the same as they do in 12-worker start, you're essentially looking at the same game, just slightly slowed down. And it's not slowed down as much as I thought it would be, right? The intensity of the multitasking, the level of fighting, how quickly the action gets going, this Blink Stalker was hitting, everything's maybe a minute behind, a minute and a half at this point at most, but it's not that big of a delay. And that's what kind of surprised me the more games I've played on this mod, many of which I haven't posted on YouTube because it was just me figuring things out. Didn't think it was very entertaining content, but I think it's kind of interesting to look at it now. 3rd Stargate, Carriers, Immortals, Templar Archives. Where's Mama? Where's she at? Where? Oh, she's going to be popping out of the main. Still 20 seconds out. Okay. Frenzy's on the way now for Dark. He's on 86 workers. A monumental economy. Ooh. Okay. Stasis traps spamming everywhere. Cannon battery on that 4th. But there's no purple gas here. These bases suck. These purple gas bases aren't very good, guys. And I think Hero's going to have a big gas shortage problem. Because Hero really needs that 5th base and needs extra gases up. Mama's out, guys. Where is she? She's hanging. There she is. Robo hasn't been rallied. Hero's kind of making it up as he goes. Stasis traps. Dude, how many stasis traps do you want to throw on this map? Oh, God. Oh, God. Don't move left. Don't move left. Okay, he's not going to move into that stasis, which is good. Dude, stasis traps ringing the entire map. Another one gets 4 Hydras. Carriers are here. Carriers are going to try and fight. Battery gets recharged from the energy. Stalker's trying to fight on the right side. Zealot's running in the left. Game's going to get... Okay, it's going to go to hell in a handbasket right now. We are seeing 4 Oracles have been spamming stasis this whole time. They're going to pull back. They survive. Mama's there defending. Zealot's doing big damage. Stalker's cut off from the retreat. Roach Hydra forcing them away. 5th Nexus gets cancelled. Stalkers are cornered. They've got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He tries to blink away and recall, but he loses 4 or 5 Stalkers immediately. Zealots have cleaned up the workers on this base, forcing them to evacuate. Meanwhile, Prism in the back door drops some Zealots there as well. Hero answering fire with fire as he starts Sidestorm, and he goes 3 more carriers and +2 air weapons. He's going to that late game air army. Dark's going to need to get something done and get something done soon. Here we go. A few carriers, Stalkers. The Oracles fly to die. Hero! He loses 3 Oracles, only 1 left. Hydras should probably be hold positioning. He's got to get out. Time Warp is such a brutal spell. It's so good. 40% attack speed reduction as well as movement speed reduction. Cloak comes in. Mama can tank damage pretty well, but the Hydras actually take care of her. But at what cost? Dark is down 2,000 resources and the units lost. He can remax pretty quickly. But as Storm comes in, I think Hero's going to be fine. As long as he remembers to make High Templar to actually cast said Psystorm. The carrier count grows. He's at 4 with 3 more popping. 7 carriers plus Storm against Hydras. Dark should be in a redundant tech position. He should be in a really awkward position right now where it's just like, dude, you don't have Vipers. You have a Hive, which you've just made for Frenzy. But you got a big economy? I guess you have to make this game messy. You have to split up and attack multiple areas. You cannot attack head on. There's 2 storms available. Third one will be recharging in about 15 seconds. High Templar runs way too forward and gets sniped. And he frenzies his way. He does the nanomuscular swell to get out of range, but that's not enough Hydras to fight this. 2 Vipers have arrived. He's looking for the abducts. He's going to abduct the carriers. There we go. 1, 2, 3 carriers get abducted. The Vipers get focused down, though. The Hydras are getting shredded by these carriers. More Hydras come in from that side. He does manage to get them. Dark's got to get out of here. He can't keep attacking. He can't keep attacking. He's got to pull back. But I think just taking way too long to do stuff. This frenzy ability, this nanomuscular swell, it's a good bonus ability, but you need to mess up the game earlier. And what I'd love to see from these guys is some more timing attacks, some more rush tech. This sort of like vanilla, let's just macro, do light harassment, and build up to these very standard styles have massive weaknesses. I truly believe if either player in the following games gets a bit more experimental, whoever gets more experimental faster, I think is going to crush. And I don't know. Who do you guys think is going to do it? Because Dark loves all-inning Protoss, and he's losing this game, which is going to push him towards doing that. And Hero is also just a crazy man who loves doing weird stuff. So I feel like they're both going to just experiment more and more, do more crazy builds as time goes on. And I'd love to see it. Hopefully we don't just see a macro simulator with a slightly slowed down start for the entire time. Does look like Hero's pretty much close to maxed. Hydra's getting caught down here. Dark's going to run around that top left side, already used the swell there to try to get in. He's trying to hit this base. That's interesting. I thought he'd go for the natural. Now he will go for the natural. Stalker's warping in, trying to defend with cannons, batteries, and Stalkers. +3 air weapons will get focused. That's a good upgrade to take down. Roach Hydra coming in. Roach speed did get made this game. Roaches get in front. Hydras are behind. He's going to try and focus down the carriers. Looks like some Hydras got focused in the bottom side. Mama comes in and saves the day. Oh, of course, the Protoss player gets in trouble, literally picks a fight with a Zerg half his size, and then the moment the Zerg swings back, he's like, Mummy, please save me, Mummy. You're like, what the hell, dude? Carrier coward right there. This red hit point carrier literally called those Hydras a whole bunch of foul names that I'm not allowed to repeat on the internet or I'll get banned. And then just calls Mama to save the day. What a D-bag. Honestly, great play for Hero. He's got a mass carrier storm army. He recalls the army from the bottom right to the top left to group it all together. I love it. And he's going to keep pushing in. Hydra, Viper going to try to counterattack. Where's that energy recharge? It's not available. High Templar warp in. Uh-oh, that doesn't do anything. Zealots with the cannons might be more effective. 4th base is in Trubs. Army's actually going to fly home. Rather than engaging in the base trade, Hero realizes, hey, I've got the better army. There's no reason for me to base trade. Probably should have realized that earlier before sending his whole army across the map. This is actually Dark's like best bet is you not coming home and you letting him base trade, but Hydra's going to try to run away. Carriers get a bunch of them. Dude, he's going to get the 4th and the 5th base. A whole lot of probes go down. Problem is, there's still no Spire. So you're still relying on Hydra Viper to beat High Templar Carrier. So that's like trying to beat basically a bunch of guy with machine guns by using a slingshot. Technically, if they're sleeping and then you sneak up on them and slingshot them in the face with a rock, yes, you can win that fight. But if they're awake and their machine guns are pointed at you, I will favor the machine guns anytime. And right now, Hero has the machine guns, but Dark slingshots him to the face and kills 2 carriers. Can you get the second one? Yes, he can. Classic Dark. Dark, you know, he's always the guy who's out there smacking. Like I always get the vibes of like an angry grandma hitting like a burglar with a machete over the head with a frying pan, you know? This man does not give up no matter how useless his army is at this stage of the game. But at the end of the day, I think as these High Templar come in, the army comes in from the north, gets a few capital ships, but it ain't going to be enough. Dark has to tap out. Hero wins game 1. All right. Going into game 2. Hero looked great in game 1. He's in the bottom left of Ultra Love. Dark's in the top right. And, you know, I wanted to put these on maps they're familiar with, even though I know we would just have more fun, entertaining games if I just forced these guys to play some crazy maps. I'm like, I know I could just put these guys on, like, hilarious, ridiculous maps, force stuff to get even weirder. But just in the interest of seeing, you know, giving them an easier on-road to learning this mod, I figured I'd give them a bit more of a chill time. So we're going to have a pylon on the low ground there, Overlord into 2 more drones coming out, and this is going to be fantastic to see how they play. I wonder if Hero changes his opening at all. I wonder if Dark changes his opening at all. Because, you know, you can go 8 pool. Like, you can just go 8 pool and see what you can do. What's the mod? 8 worker start, guys. There's also 6 worker start, 8 worker start, 9 worker start. I'm not sure if he did any other numbers. Oh, we also did 1 worker start for anyone who didn't see it yet. If you guys type !new vid into my Twitch chat, it'll pop up yesterday's YouTube video where we tested a 1 worker start to surprising, shocking results. Yeah. The 1 worker start mod, you know, is truly the meta breaker. So Gate Gas, Hero's doing the same sort of build. I wonder if him or Dark try to squeeze in that Overlord earlier, though. Because I think you go like spawning pool, and then you immediately build an Overlord right after it, even if you're only on 15 supply maybe. Or one very soon afterwards, which Dark didn't do last time. So it looks like Dark's going hatchery. Probe's coming in to harass him. Where's that spawning pool? Are we doing 3 hatch? Dark forgot his spawning pool. He's with spawning pool at 280 minerals. Oh my gosh. Hero's probe harass paying off already, ladies and gentlemen. That's amazing. All right, probe dancing around. We got the Nexus coming up on the natural now for Hero. Hero looks like he's going to go 19 Cybercore into Pylon. I think that makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Get the Cybercore down, then go the Pylon, then go back to probe production. Yeah. So he's optimized his build a little more. Dark also has an Overlord that will pop out with the spawning pool finishing. Interestingly, he's pulled 3 workers off minerals onto gas, I guess to shut down the Adepts a bit harder. I think he's realized, hey, that Adept harass was really annoying. Let's get link speed a little bit earlier and just really secure our position. Problem, he's not going to have enough minerals to build 2 queens, is he? Oh, probe almost gets a drone, but they almost killed the probe in response. 1 queen starts, 2nd queen starts, and he actually cancelled the Overlord. So he built an extra Overlord on the natural, realized, oh, I don't need that yet. I think he did. I actually think he did. Because now he needs to build another Overlord. Otherwise, he's going to be supply blocked on 30. Canceling that Overlord was not the play, Dark. It was not the play. It was probably earlier than he needed it by like 1 or 2 lava. But he still should have built it by... Okay, he wanted to go Ling speed really bad. Now he starts another Overlord. Fair call, fair call. Ling's going to come out. Stargate goes up in the main. Dark pumping probes off 2 Nexi. He's on 28 out of 40. Just a reminder, guys. 12 supply per Nexus. 3 supply per hatchery. Dark's trying to get towards that 3rd hatchery. Interestingly, keeping the Adept at home because he thinks Dark's going to run Zerglings in. I think Hero, seeing the early Ling speed, has realized, oh, Dark might do like a cheese. I better stay back, be a bit more careful here. Now, an interesting thing quite a few people have pointed out as well is like, because there's so many amazing harassment units, like Oracles and Adepts and Liberators, it's usually better. I heard someone say it's better to just harass than it is to go for all-out attacks anymore because that. And also because scouting is so good. So one thing we could do with this mod as well is I might lower the speed of Overlords. Because remember, Overlords used to be way slower than they currently are on the 6-worker start, and that, along with Stim and Warp Gate both getting faster, were things that changed in Legacy of the Void to accommodate the 12-worker change. And you can see how, like, it's kind of weird that the game, everything ran on 6 workers and was balanced for that, and they only changed those 3 things directly to actually adjust and adapt to the 12-worker change. So I should probably change some of those back in some of these mods, but I should also, you know, look at like, hey, if we're going to stay 12 workers, maybe we should change more of those other things rather than just the 3 things that actually got changed. Stasis Trapper S comes in. Hero will freeze 3 drones, but Dark gets a lot of damage. He's happy with that trade, and he's got an early Evo chamber. Looks like Dark's still playing very macro heavy. Both players have been supply blocked a little bit less this time, but they do need to keep up that pylon production. The moment there's interactions between the 2 players, it definitely feels like there's more chance to get supply blocked, and they're both playing very, very standard. So the problem we're going to run into here in these first 2 games is neither player has really tried committing super hard to some interesting or different tech. This is super vanilla macro versus super vanilla macro. Only difference is we've got +1 melee coming in. And I just want to reiterate, I do not expect these games to magically be different. Changing something which opens up the potential for more strats doesn't mean in one series the players will play those strats. Even the 2 wild men, Hero and Dark, they're right now just kind of getting their economy going, figuring things out, kind of seeing what they can do. And over time, you'll see them. I think the big change I want to see from Dark this game is don't go to 86 workers. If you want to play around on lair tech, stop at 65, 70. You know, really, I want to see him like commit to something in that middle stage, maybe 75 workers at most. But 86 and just pure Hydra was a bit of a meme in that last game. He's going to go Baneley Nest as well. Charge is coming in, so Hero realizes, hey, you're playing Baneley Nest, you're not playing Roaches. Scouting's been good for him. Oh, dude, why didn't he fly in? There was only 2 queens, no Spore Crawler. Hero just flew away from a really good fight on that 3rd base, but he finds a queen up here. Pull back the weak one. Oh, he goes too deep, loses the Oracle. He can now sit over the gas. Oh, why didn't he sit over the gas? That's interesting. With no queens there, I really thought he'd hang out, but guess he wanted to go home and macro. Templar Archives coming up. He's going to go up to 4 gateways, 6 gases, and a robo behind the 3rd. Looks like an Immortal Storm transition off of this. Lings are coming out. A lot of Lings off 60 drones. It's a lot of the Zerglings. Wall off Adept does not look like it's placed. I think Lings might actually be able to squeeze through there. If those Lings try to click in, I think they can get past that Adept. I could be wrong, but on the left side, I think they might be able to squeeze through whenever the Adept says tacking. Whenever the Adept attacks, it has a lower collision size than when it isn't attacking. Storm's on the way. Robo behind the natural almost done. And now he's going to go up to 6 gateways, 7 gateways to wall off the 3rd. All right, Ling's coming in. I usually just leave the high energy Oracle turned on permanently because you've got energy recharge. Now Banelings, Hero! Oh, he's going to run his probes away. Oracle's trying to defend. Ling's breaching the natural. Banelings roll into the 3rd, but they don't get any damage. They don't get any damage. They just damage the probes. They didn't really kill many of them at all. He's only got 4 probe kills so far. Lings are in the main, but as long as the probes run away, the Oracles can defend. Random Ling Bane pressures like this definitely have the potential to do big damage, but he doesn't find the mark, and he's going to transition to Roach Hydra behind it, which I find fascinating. Now, Koreans on the new patch have been loving Roach Hydra, and a lot of people have been asking me, why is Roach Hydra so popular on the new patch? And my answer for that has been... question mark? Oracles have more energy, and they're annoying, so they want something that shoots up, I guess. Honestly, I think it's way too ubiquitous. I think Rogue and Dark have been spamming Roach Hydra too much, and whilst they're good enough to still win games with it, I don't think it's a very flexible comp. I think it's a good surprise strategy to throw out, but you can't be doing it every game, or it's too easy to defend. We'll see how it goes, though. Roach is kind of stacking behind the Baneley Nest in a bit of a funny pattern. Oracles are getting good scouting. 74 workers for Dark right now. Warp Prism on the right side, though, ready with a Storm Drop to try and drop one of these mineral lines. Oracles over there, still dancing about. No 4th base for Hero just yet. He's thinking about it. But Hero off 3 base is really committing. He's going 2nd Robo, double Forge. He's going to come in with that Storm Drop. Hydras and Queens, though. Get out, get out, get out. He hasn't revealed that it's High Templar in here. He's about to risk it. I don't think the Roaches can one-shot a High Templar, but they're close. He loses one of the High Templar anyway. Does take out a few of those workers. 6 workers killed on each side so far this game. Now, if you're wondering why the worker kills aren't popping up on the side, because we get that every video, we aren't using that. That's a mod that is separate to this mod. I could combine them, but it's a lot of extra work every time we create all these different mods. So we just have to bring up that tab afterwards. This is a big Roach Hydra timing. He does have Psystorm though, remember. And Psystorm plus double Robo Immortal production should be big, but he's not using his Robos. 2 Robos idle right now, and a supply block. Oh no, Hero's in trouble. Ling's on the right side finding the probes. The Roach Hydra have broken the rocks. The cooling tower could still block half of this. Roach Hydra coming in for a big surrounding angle. Dark looking for the overwhelming surprise. The Oracle flies in the Hydras. It gets taken down on the right side. Roaches and Hydras trying to get in there. High Templar coming forward, lands a good storm on the Hydra. Zealot, Immortal, High Templar doing what they can. Archon Zealot on the left side. At the same time, the Roach Hydra getting swarmed over. Hero Air has been playing some nice greedy openings. He's been getting away with it, and he is looking fantastic. He's just all over Dark right now. Dark cannot find any purchase. Dark's been playing kind of super macro styles, and he's giving Hero a bit of room to get up. Now, who knows? Maybe arguably Protoss is more favored with the current balance on this kind of level of changes, but I do feel like Dark is a little bit meaty and simplistic in his strategy right now. It's been mass Hydra off Giant Economy and Go. This time it's mass Roach Hydra off Giant Economy and Go. It doesn't feel like he's finding any sharp, surprising attack timings. The Ling Bane attack did whiff earlier as well, which has obviously slowed down his growth and his Roach Hydra follow-up. So Dark not really finding the openings he needs, but Hero's going to attack on the left. Mass Zealot Archon Immortal on the right. He's got the Storm Army on the right, the A-Move Army on the left side. Dark's going to try and go for the Storm Army. That's going to be hard to deal with. On the left, he's getting overwhelmed. Hero absolutely swamping him right now. And I think Dark's going to realize he's going to need to pull out something nasty in order to keep pace here with Hero. He has to tap out. GG. All right, guys. Hero goes for the immediate Chrono Boost to this next game. Wow, 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 wow. Immediate Chrono Boost meta. He says, you know what if I just get these early probes out a little bit quicker? I love it. I was wondering if Chrono at the very start would become more efficient. I don't think it is. I actually think it's probably worse, but who knows? Getting those probes out immediately, more time to mine. Maybe it is better. Oh, I really don't know. I really don't know. Dark at the bottom right. Dark's going to have to start cracking out some surprises, guys. You cannot keep just playing standard here. He's got to get under Hero's skin and find an opening, and I really feel like it's kind of funny because I've heard people say that Zerg would actually be way stronger against Protoss because it's going to be bad for Protoss to secure bases, but I think we really just don't know if it's favored one way or the other, and I don't think we'll know until the players figure some things out, but still, once again, it looks like a hatchery first opening, which is decent. What I'd love to see more than anything is like an early pool. I wouldn't mind, because I think Hero's response is going to be so weird. Like, he's going to be so unused to it. If you did like a 10 pool and just pressure with like, I don't know, 8 Zerglings, I imagine Hero's build's going to be so messed up. You can just macro out of that. But so far, very standard and generic play here for Dark. Even just going pool first into 6 Lings might be good. Nesfarian, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Really appreciate the support. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you want to get support show matches like this, see more of them, check the link below. There's a link in the description to my Patreon. You guys, big thanks to everyone who's already over there supporting. Really appreciate you all. Spawning pool and gas. So yep, straight up stuff. It's so weird seeing Hero and Dark play such a standard game. Now Hero's realized 19 supply, Nexus, Core, and Pylon, and then resuming probes is one of the best ways to do it. And I agree. 15 on minerals, you're mostly saturated on minerals, you've got 2 on gas, starting to gather it. I think Hero's very quickly figured out a great opening, but Dark's forgot his Overlord again. He needs to build the Overlord right now. Next lava's about to pop out. He needs to build that Overlord right now. Dark, he's forgotten his Overlord, and he builds another drone. Dark, he's forgotten the build order. He figured it out last game, and now he's forgotten. Dark, what are we doing, mate? The Protoss distracted him. He still hasn't built it. No. Okay, wait. No, he built 2 Lings, which is blocking him from building the second queen. Okay. Oh, so he cancels the queen in the main. Oh, no. He does go for a quick Ling speed, but definitely a derpy opening for Dark. Hero, a bit more on point with really picking up how these openings flow. And Dark, on the other hand, trailing in this show match, down 0-2. This map's much better for aggression as well. The wide open areas into the third bases, into the natural, no ramp there. I really think this map should give Dark some opportunities to find some damage. Hero goes for the Spite Pylon. I love it. It's actually quite effective here going for the Spite Pylon, especially against someone who only has 2 lings. The other third base, though, is just as effective. And Dark building 2 overlords, supply blocked on 30 again. So that's last game, he didn't get supply blocked on 19, but this time he gets supply blocked on 19 and 30. Pylon gets cancelled and he goes back and takes that same hatchery, at least in the good location. Stargate's on the way. Hero chronoing his probes really nicely, just really focusing on booming out his economy. And isn't this great? Hero opened with early double adept pressure, game 1, game 2, and game 3. Dark has rushed ling speed super fast. And there hasn't even been any adept pressure. So Dark's hurting his own income to rush ling speed, whereas Hero's just chronoing probes. So chrono on the probes, it feels like Hero has kind of just made him a bit paranoid and then started to profit. Now Pylon is coming in. You can see his supply blocked right now, his Hero from building those probes. But that is a-okay. Spore Crawler comes up in the main base, which I think is perfectly timed as long as he has 2 queens on the natural. And more overlords once again required here for Dark. He's building drones, no overlords in production though, and that's a problem. But worker count is dead even between the two, which I think is better for Dark than the previous game. Second Spore comes in on the natural. Queen's moving to intercept. Look at that. Beautiful handling. First Oracle takes heavy damage, doesn't find anything. 2 more overlords building. Really well played here. Hero's going to rush his third again. Can he truly defend that third base is my question. If you commit to like a queen walk or something like that, can he actually defend that? With 3 more queens building, I don't think Dark's going to go for it. Unless he drops a Roach Horn in the second gas right now, it feels like that window is closing for him to commit to something really aggressive. Thinking about it earlier today, I realized I watch Pig more than my Netflix account, so why not show my appreciation? Oh, thank you, Nesfarin. I really appreciate that. Thank you, mate. I gotta say, they probably cost a bit more to produce that Netflix content, but I really appreciate it that we're competing with them for your eyeballs and getting a bit more attention. Thanks, mate. Ooh, look at that high ground. There's no overlord here. Dark can't see these oracles until they arrive, so he's moving the queen back to the high ground, which is a good move. The oracles could dive on these queens in the main and find damage, but Hero's going to go for stasis traps instead. Good move. Dark. Oh, watch out. Good reaction. Great reaction. Only loses a single drone to the stasis trap. Hero might go for another one. Dark's trying to bait him in. Focuses it down. He says, get out of my base, D-bag. Overlord and Ling on the other side. Overlord's going down there. We've got an Evo, a Roach Horn coming in. Dark's got a 5 worker lead, which is not too bad. I wouldn't mind. He's building 10 more workers. Queen's going to take out that stasis trap as well. Dude, he's all over it. Dark with a 6 queen opening, 11 more workers. Dark needs to stop building drones and mass army while taking a 4th hatchery. He's already built so many more drones than Hero. Hero's on 4 gate, blink +1. Dark's opening was so much better this game. This is the game where he got supply blocked on 19 and 30. But he's defended the Oracle so much perfectly, and the Adept didn't do damage. Isn't this the most Dark thing ever, where I spend the whole early game criticizing his early game mistakes, and he comes out of it with like a massive worker advantage? Dark doesn't follow the rules. This man breaks the physics of StarCraft, I'm telling you. Hydra Den's on the way. It's just going to be Roach Hydra here. I mean, Dark was doing well. He's got to keep defending this. And he is going to do okay at that. And he's only up 5 workers now. Hero will be able to, of course, it's not like Hero's miles behind or anything like that. I'd say it's still a very even game. Look at this. Queen's in position over and over again. Good play. Problem is he's playing Roach Hydra again. Like I said earlier, it's a little bit of a flaccid unit comp in my opinion. Dark trying to save his overlords, but that one will go down. That's easy pickings for Hero. So Hydras, Lings are on the way right now. I'd love to see a Ling counterattack. Single Ling does go in. But the other Lings are all just waiting at home, ready to respond to the Oracle Stasis Trap spam. And 2 Zerglings do set off that Stasis Trap. Already a few Zerglings going down. Queen's on the front, ready to defend. 64 workers. Dark trying to withstand the Hero Oracle Blink Parade of Doom. Behind this, Hero takes his 5th and 6th casters, and he goes for Templar Archives. He's already thinking about the Storm follow-up. Dark coming forward with the Hydra Queen. He's defended well, and his 4th base is secured. This is actually looking pretty good for Dark in terms of not taking too much damage, setting off the stasis traps. Like, feels like he's defended the high ground ramp really well. He's going to break these rocks. Yeah, you're down 500, 600 resources. Who cares? Like, that's not a big deal when you're mining you know, thousands of minerals and gas a minute. The problem is that Hero's 4th base is getting established, and it feels like we're doing the exact same build we've done in the previous games. You're not going to find a surprised hero. That being said, it is off a lesser worker count, so maybe not exactly the same. Is that a better opening? He's going to hit off less workers. Storm should not have time to get ready here. I think he can potentially bust through. Storm's over a minute away, and the Templar Archives is exposed on the 3rd, but no muscular augments just yet. I'd like to see Dark go to that right side, deny the 4th, and then come in from both sides. I'd like to see the army split. Yeah, good army split, but he's got to watch out for stasis traps. Lots of Stalkers coming in, and watch out for force fields. Force fields from that sentry could actually be devastating in this choke point. Dark turns to fight there. Hydra's setting up a concave. Muscular augments does kick in. Now, Hydra's now suddenly a much more mobile unit. He's going to have to break these rocks before he commits here. Dark trying to get in, but Storm's only 20 seconds out. Hero's got stasis traps to fall back on. High Templar coming forwards. Double the army supply for Dark, but it's much lower quality army supply. Force fields, very good force fields to start things off for Hero. And Storm's going to come in at the perfect time. Not to mention the stasis trap. The stasis trap really does hurt. Pylon goes down, canceling the Stalker Warp in. Great moves there. Oracle's trying to fly in. Hydra's taking care of those Oracles. They get put to rest. All the Oracles go down. The Storms are going to land, but only on a few units before the High Templar are forced to morph into an Archon to stop themselves dying. 8 Hydras about to pop out of the stasis trap. The Stalker's going down. Dark hits a timing attack, and this time, off of a better opening and a crisp timing attack, Dark says, no, 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 you can't just take a 4th behind a handful of Stalkers and rush Storm. Because like I said, these sort of strategies where you just mass expand super early should naturally be higher risk. Because your economy is going to kick in a bit later, and compared to the tech and the upgrade timings, it's going to have just a little bit less time to pay off. Not a crazy amount, but even if it's like, you know, the attack is hitting 30 seconds earlier compared to where the economy growth is, or 20 seconds, whatever that number is, I haven't done the maths on it, it does make a big difference. Now, obviously, Dark had a good opening. He played that pretty darn well. But Hero, I mean, he even got Storm out towards the end of it, was not able to hold on. I guess the Storms didn't really make an impact because the Roach Hydra was on top of him. Stasis traps. Freezing those units, buying Hero a moment of respite. He's going to go for a little Zealot counterattack on the bottom left side. Storm's landing on the Roach Hydra as well. Very hard to break through energy recharge Storm when your opponent's just defending on 3 base. Never count out Hero, ladies and gentlemen. He should be pretty screwed from here if he was a normal Protoss player. He's not. His name is Hero for a reason. Hydra's going to clean up those Zealots, but the Zealots actually do pretty good versus the Hydras. Hydra's trying to run away. Transfuse. Hey, Dark always want to do the flashy micro. Cleans up the Zealot on the left. Drones go back to mining. 74 workers. Hive's on the way. He's got +2 range and now carapace, but not much map control. These Zealots on the bottom are going to counter. They're going to surprise him. So Dark, I think he needs a few more Overlords on the edges to see Zealots, to see Warp Prisms coming in, and he should be setting up his next attack. He's got his army nicely split here, which I really like. Like, if those Stalkers go too far forward, these guys will break him from behind. Hero, does he see those rocks going down? He might have heard it. I'm not sure if he saw or heard that. Queens are there. Oh, he goes for the gas snipe. Hero, devious. I'm kidding. That was kind of funny. I think that might have been a misclick. I'm not sure, but it's kind of funny. He like takes the thing that can't run away, the gas, and just runs out. Not the most impactful snipe, but at least he's doing something while reestablishing a 4th. And if he gets to defend this 4th, he's good. Look at that. Energy recharge. Storm crushes the Hydras. I mean, right now, Dark, if he had drops in the main or a Nidus in the main, I think he could really overwhelm, but that's a lot of Storm Immortal. Get out of there, Dark. Get out of there. He's trying to attack. Oh, he does take 1 Storm on the right, but his Hydras on the right are doing excellent damage. Excellent damage. On the south, he kind of got wrecked. These Hydras are still going to trade with the Stalkers, which is probably decent for him, especially as more Hydras come in. On the right side, though, Storm's pushing him back. He's killing a lot of probes. Hero cannot afford these trades. All you need to do when you're ahead in Zerg vs Protoss is make the game messy, make them fight in 3 or 4 sloppy places. You can take a bad Storm here, a bad Disruptor there, as long as you are forcing messy trades. He gets a robo kill, a lot more probes falling, and Dark on 74 workers is rallying in behind it. 13 minutes into this game, and Dark has just been leaning an avalanche of Zerg on top of Hero and overwhelming him little by little. This is so well played by Dark, and it's good to see him realizing, hey, I might have to be a bit more aggressive. I can't just be letting Hero rush 4 bases in this series, mate. Don't think you can ever really let Protoss get away with that for free, unless you are yourself getting like a 6-minute hive into the fastest lurkers ever. Blinking on top of the opponent is a bad idea 70% of the time, says Twitch chat. Yeah, you guys clearly don't know how awesome it feels. It's no, oh, it's bad. It doesn't make your units fighting it. Yeah, it asserts dominance, guys. Does calling my real life rival a poo-poo head do actual physical damage? No, but it does psychological damage. The same way when Hero blinks his Stalkers into the middle of your Roach Hydra. It feels good for him and it feels bad for his opponent until they kill all the Stalkers. Then I guess it feels kind of good. You might have a point, Twitch chat. Maybe I'm the idiot. I don't know. Hydraling coming in from multiple sides. A little Templar Immortal army on the left. A little Templar Immortal army on the right. Dude, Hero can still get back in this. Dark still needs to keep going. He's still got to keep looking to surround these units. Looking for the angles. He's going to try and surround this side. He's a little clumped, but... Oh, Frenzy kicks in. He's going to Frenzy. Where's the Frenzy? Oh, God, he's walking through the storms. He's very distracted on that right side. He's going to try and pull back. Good storms. Dude, Hero is a wizard. He's got to recall this army, though. He has to storm and run. Storm and run. Storm and recall. Storm and recall. If he recalls right now, he can get out. Frenzy's coming in. Dude, Dark's so clumped, though. Dark is really just grabbing his F2ing. Hero's pushing. He's distracting here. He knows this army's gone for, but he's going to push the left side at the same time. I think Dark should still be favored, but dude, it feels like he's letting Hero have an opportunity. Hero pushes the left side. Drones do abandon. Zealots are going to run in. Uh-oh. Dark's going to try and base trade now. These Zealots are on top. They're going to kill all of his Hydras as they pop out. He needs to swap to Roach production. No. Now he's coming home. He's going to lose his Lurker Den. He's going to lose his Lurker Den. Hero's on 4 base. You cannot send everything home. He's going to come back with Queens and a handful of Hydras while continuing to the rest of his Hydras. Dude, the nanomuscular swell comes in. The swell of Hydras. Overwhelming, breaking that Nexus. But oh God, he's on move command. Oh gosh. Oh lordy. Oh lordy McLord. Hydra's trying to spread out. Roach's focus firing the High Templar. Does manage to take him out. If he can get rid of that Robo, that is the last Robo in this game. He should be able to take that out. Robos are very fragile structures. Only 450. One of the weakest tech structures out of the Terran and Protoss arsenal. Zerg actually have pretty weak tech as well. They're often about 850, 750 life. Terran structures are super tanky for whatever reason. Big metal hulks, I guess. Hydras and Roaches pulling back on this side. Dude, this game got kind of intense. I feel like Dark's had it in the bag, but his obsession with these nanomuscular swell Hydras is creating a few opportunities for it to look competitive. Of course, with a 50 army supply difference, 50 supply difference, 17 of which is workers, 30 of which is army. It's looking pretty good now for Dark. Hero's still roaming the map, trying to rebuild gases. He's almost out of mineral mining. Like, his main's almost completely mined out. Minerals in the top left side of our map on the income. Dark's income's not much better. Dark did lose his 4th base, trying to build a 4th and a 5th. Honestly, if Hero could find a way to beat this army, the fact that their income's so close is worrying. But I'm like, no, surely. I mean, you just transfer drones. You've got 70 workers. You transfer them to the new bases and you're fine. He just keeps catching the Zealots as well. Dark's doing a good job. He knows Hero keeps seesawing from side to side of the map, trying to catch him off, and Dark's cleaning that up now. He's doing a really good job of just keeping the map sterile, clear of any Protoss infections. Does anyone else feel like Dark's kind of phoning it in this show match? Welcome to Dark in every tournament he ever plays. Dark and Hero, the number of times we're like, are these guys even trying? Are they even... This doesn't look like serious play. That's how they play StarCraft, guys. These are two of the most intuitive, random players who play in the top 10 players of the world consistently for the last decade. They literally... I swear they have fever dreams sometimes where they think of a new strategy and they immediately try it in a tournament for $20,000 like the next week without ever practicing it. They're unpredictable, they're fun, they're kind of crazy. Dark has really been enjoying the Swell, and Swell is a good upgrade. Sorry guys, I don't know why I'm lagging right now. Holy crap. What the heck? Oh no. Whoa! Wow, crazy itch there. Don't know what was going on. Roaches in the base. Looks like it didn't affect the players at all, guys. But I apologize for that. Haven't been able to figure out what's causing those on the computer. They do happen about once every day or two at the moment, just for a few seconds. But Immortal High Templar Archon hanging out. Drones pulling away. Hydra's cleaning everything up. Hero with a nice desperate push. But his third's being cleaned out. The Hydras keep dodging the storms. I actually love the Swell versus Storm interaction. Because Storm still feels very good versus Hydras and whatnot. But it does... I mean, the fact that it's at Hive Tech, it's so late in the game, and it makes this unit that's usually pretty bad at Hive just a bit more useful. I really like that upgrade as a sort of inoffensive and fun thing that's been added to the game. Nice play for Dark, keeps himself alive in this series. All right, guys, Hero went for a chrono boost again at the start. Looks like he's really honed in on this build order and said, I like this build. I think that's a pretty good way to do it. I think Dark as well. The initial start's good. If he can avoid getting supply blocked on 19, get both queens started straight away, I think his opening is going to be far better. So let's see. I do think it's spawning pool, one more drone, then Overlord is probably the optimal build order. I think he's been going... Yeah, because it's like, I think we go like 14 gate, right? I think he rallies down 14 or 15 gate for Hero. And for Dark, it's like 15 or 16 hatchery he's going for. And then he's going like 15 or 16 spawning pool. It's like, is it 15-15 or 16-16? I think it's 15-15. Yeah. So he's going to go 15 hatchery here. Gateway did go down on 14, just or right as the 15th probe was about to start. Okay, so it is actually 16. 16 hatchery for Dark. And then he's going to go 16 hatch, 16 pool. Okay. Cool. Cool. Ooh. I only watched the last game. I'm surprised they didn't do a timing attack. Yeah, I mean, pro gamers haven't played much on the mod. They're obviously just experimenting as they go. I truly believe it's going to be something where there's, you know, they're just kind of doing similar stuff to what they do normally. And they're just like having to adapt their build order. And that's like the main problem solving they're focused on right now. But yeah, it would be interesting to see. Or like, I think I should actually see if I can set up a show match with Shin. Shin is so creative and clever with his builds. Like if I did Shin against maybe Classic, thinking of players who are very build oriented, very clever, and played back in Heart of the Swarm and before. I think Shin vs Classic might actually be amazing. Obviously, Hero and Dark played back then as well, but they've always been more intuitive players. So it'll be interesting to compare how they play as EVP compared to those other two. Zerg vs Terrans, the ones I've cast so far, have had a lot more Mutalisks in them, so I should see if I can also just get whoever, you know, to play some Zerg vs Terrans. Maybe a Laser. A Laser loves an excuse to play Mutalisk, so maybe if I can get like a Laser vs Spirit or something like that in a show match, Spirit will just try to macro exactly the same as he does now, and a Laser will try to get him with like mass muter and all sorts of stuff. It'd be interesting to see how that one goes. Yeah, Dark and Hero are such experimental players, so they're being experimental by playing Standard on the 8 worker mod today. So it looks like the 2 queens started on time. Now, you meant to build an Overlord now after that 3rd hatch. Oh, guys, he's optimized the build. Dark just optimized the build. 4 games in, Dark has optimized the build. Double inject immediately. He's got, look, 2 more drones. He's going to get the supply block, and the Overlord's going to pop. Like, this is primo stuff. He delayed his ling speed a bit more. Remember, he was pulling off minerals onto gas before, which was a big issue. I'd love to see the Home Story Cup cap. Oh, of course, Gumiho would be a genius on this mod. Great suggestion from Athena. Gumiho versus a Laser would actually be a really fun match, I think. I think that'd be a really good one. Because that's his weakest matchup, TVZ, for Gumiho. And a Laser's one of his stronger matchups, I think. Especially if you put him in a position where he can build Mutalisks again. Adept dancing around. Yeah, it's going to get like a Zergling. Not much else. Good defense. Void Ray first. Okay, Hero mixing it up. No Oracle this time around. Dark did get supply block pretty hard here on 38. Very distracted by that single Adept in the base. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think the fact that he got up to this point without getting hit is big, but oh, he goes Spores. That's bad. This is really bad because he's not only going to lose his Overlord most likely to this Void Ray. Actually, the Void Ray, does he go check for it is the question. But you do not need Spores versus a Void Ray opening. He could have delayed those by a good 30, 40 seconds. And the Overlord sneaks over the coral, hiding over there next to a few tires. Oh my god, how many tires are there at the bottom of this ocean? Guys, dispose of your trash responsibly. Stop dumping in the ocean. Ooh, treasure. It's treasure as well. Some proper booty, that is. Baneling Nest is on the way here for Dark. Yeah, he built the Spores early. It's not the end of the world. Void Ray's coming forward. Dude, he didn't pull his Overlords back because he doesn't know about the Void Ray. Oh my god, which means he's got so many Overlords out here. Run, 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 run. Dark, get these hoovies out of here. He's got to get Queens over to that natural right now. He's going to lose so many. Oh god. Stasis Trap comes in as well. Dark does respond pretty quickly though. Okay, 2 Overlords is not the end of the world. As long as he can defend this 3rd one, Lings are running across the map. They're going to try to run in. Hero's wall off is really interesting in that he doesn't wall off that choke point like most players do. He has a really weird wall off on this map that he does. Massling coming in on the third base. He's going for the Adept, both sides of that. He's going to try and hit it. He should split some Lings on this other Adept as well. But great warp in positioning for Mr. Hero. That Adept there especially is kind of impossible to deal with. The Lings are just going to run in, run away. Oracle's going to try and get as many of them as it can on the way out. It's going to grab 3 kills by the looks of it. And that's a good counter move, though, for Dark, who's drawn to 55 behind this. Dude, Dark! He's doing such a good job of droning now. This is really nice by him. He's doing a great job of droning. And one has to wonder, what if Hero was doing like a Glaive Adept pressure? Like, no, Glaive Adepts would hit harder. Like, it'll hit a bit faster. I think it would be really interesting to do a Glaive Adept pressure, because it normally takes a lot of finesse with the build order response to deal with that. He's not going to know how to respond to it off this weird opening build order that he's doing. Massling Bane coming in. Dark's feeling himself right now, but Hero has an emergency sentry, which is really important. If he can run the probes off the third, he might be able to defend this. Banelings are hiding. Oracles, he senses it. He senses it. Hero finds it. Hero finds it. The Banelings have been spotted. They're running in. He hasn't noticed it, though. Hero did not notice it. Yes, he does at the last second. Banelings are getting blocked. They're going to try and rotate around. Massling Bane rolling in. The first force field was really, really good. That delayed that massively. Massling not finding anything. Sentries on both bases. Energy recharge available in 5 seconds. He can refill energy on that sentry. He's going to move out now. Hero, not like that. Careful, mate. Careful, mate. But Dark commits a massive amount. Doesn't find the damage. And now those Lings are just going to have to wait for another opportunity. 4th hatchery coming in. Hero's trying to take a 4th base. The Lings should be able to cancel that. Comes in a bit too early, though, and the Void Ray pushes him back. Hero confidently taking a 4th base in his face. 5th hatchery goes down for Dark. If he holds the drone key down, he could be good, but he's only built a few drones and a few gases since running in with this mass Ling. And now he's supply blocked on 108 again. Trying to build a few more overlords. He sees that 4th hatchery. With the Oracles and the Void Ray on the defense, Hero locks down the ship tight. Robo and Second Forge on the way. He's going to start macroing. Hydras are coming out. Dark might have a Hydra fetish. Where's the Spire transitions? Like, where is the surprise Mutalisks? Or the Nidus surprise would also be something I'd love to see. Nidus Swarm Host might even work, even against Blink. Lings coming in, going behind the 3rd base. No gases behind that 3rd, which makes this look like a Gateway Man style. Mass Stalker Zealot. 77 workers for Dark, going heavy Hydras. I think he's going to go to 87. Oh, he needs to start massing units. I think Hero going... I think he thinks that Dark is on a lower economy than he is. If he realized that 4th base was already full of workers and there's even more coming out, I guarantee you that Hero would be going Storm right now. Like, you're not going to win against this without splash damage. Even with 2-1 upgrades and a massive Stalker Zealot. Oh my god, Dark's building 8 more workers. Okay, Dark might just be greedy enough to just get A-moved by Stalker Zealot. He's got like a few Hydras, a few Lings. He does have the 2nd Hydra upgrade coming in, +1 range, but Ling Hydras, like Lings are going to get shredded by Zealots. And the Hydra count's just so low. Dark building 4 Overlords, once again supply blocked. This is totally my experience with this mod as well, guys. You would not believe. I've played it a bunch as all 3 races. I have been so supply blocked until I've played with a single race like at least 5 or 6 games, and then I get supply blocked only sometimes, but still every game. Rocks start to get taken down. Lurkaden's there. 2-2s on the way right now for Protoss. Dark was so greedy, but he's got 17 Hydras. It's hard to push into Hydra Queen on creep. Meanwhile, Zealot's running in with a Prism. Lings and a few Hydras going to respond. That's a big Zealot warp in. Hero committing like a mad dog right now. F2ing to the front like he does. Throws an Oracle away. The whole force field's trap a few Queens though. Ling Hydra in the main. Will it be able to defend these Zealots? It looks like it's struggling right now, but it barely gets on top of it. Prism does escape. He manages to defend in the back. Can he defend the front at the same time? I think this is really good fights for Dark. I say that while bringing up the units lost tab that looks appallingly bad for him. But you got to realize the supply, man. He's up 30 supply of Ling Hydra. The upgrades are what really worry me, in that he's only got +2 just now started, and he doesn't have a second Evo. That being said, he's got a Lurker Den finished, Hive about to finish. Lurkers are going to be a problem for a guy who's just now starting Colossus Not going to be good versus the Lurkers, even though they're great versus the Hydra Link. Templar Archive's just now starting as well. But Hero's got the economy that even though that attack didn't go that well for him, he can transition. He can get up to a second Robo, get up to Storm, and absolutely defend against a lot of this stuff. Dude, that Stasis Trap not getting set off is tragic for Dark. If he moved his army south into that could have been a big problem. I think it's actually better if he set it off with just 1 or 2 Hydras there than letting it go, though, because it could come into play later on. Mass Lings trying to surround. Remember, the Lings have no upgrades. The Zealots have 2-1. Lings are useless here. They're very bad units right now. Dark needs a second Evo Chamber if he wants to keep relying on so many Zerglings. His Zerglings are very weak units. They are not doing anything against these Zealots. Hydras and Queens defending the front really well, though. Dark's doing such a good job of defending the front, and his Hydras are doing just fine. Look at the way the drones just run away, lure the Zealots into the Hydras, and Units Lost Tab is getting closer and closer to even. Only about 1,400 resources difference between the two. Storm's on the way right now. Frenzy, Adaptive Talons, +2 range, +1 carapace. Hydras and Lurkers hanging out over there. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough right now. Hero's just got to keep him pinned. And for Dark, it's how do I sneak across the map? Because if he can just defend with these Lurkers and Queens and sneak across, it's good. Hero's a bit of a mad dog. He might shove into it and break the Lurker position. Fleet Beacon's on the way. The 3-3 upgrades have started. Hero's ground upgrades are so good this game. Hydras, oh, they're on move command. What are they doing? They're all attacking a single Stalker there, it looks like. Hydras weren't quite fighting as well as they should have. Where are the Vipers? No Vipers started just yet. And Hero is keeping him contained with Stasis Traps and an army on the front. Dark has the supply advantage for a long time. It feels like he could have either surrounded this army or he could have counterattacked with something. But it's easier said than done, especially with these 2-2 Zealots soon to be 3-3 in about 2 minutes. They are so good. The Zerglings are just Garbo units trying to go for a Nidus Worm. That's got to be the play. Turtling like this, stuck in a contained position. Protoss making their way to +1 air weapons, making their way to Stargate. Hero's going to make his way to air, and Dark needs to find a way out of this cage. Hero keeping up the pressure, though. Zealots on the right side. Hero finding an opening. No units there to respond. The Lings will respond quickly, though, and at least distract the Zealots till the Hydras arrive. Those feels when you glance at Twitch chat and you just see a single out-of-context statement, and you're like, I curated this community. Well done, Vizcachu. Stalker's blink to the high ground. Lurker's here, getting some big shots. The Stalker blink! I think that answers the question about is it good to blink forward ever that we were talking about earlier. Hero blinks to the high ground, gets his Stalkers obliterated, recalls on top of Lurkers. Oh my god, the Hydras are here to reinforce, but the Lurkers do eat some pretty big storms. This is a crazy fight. Void Ray goes down, Colossus goes down. No, it doesn't. Warp Prism with the save. Oh, the Hydras are like so angry about this. He wants to just overwhelm. He wants to take advantage of the fact that Hero is way outsupplied right now, trying to go Mothership and Tempest. Where is Sidestorm? Where are the High Templar? Where are the Energy Recharge High Templar? I think he already used it. Oh, he's got one Colossus. But look at that. Even the Nidus Worm on the front takes a bit of the aggro. Colossus gets stuck on it a little bit. It's trying to come forward. Hydras say, get out of here, Mr. D-Bag. Colossus deep in the red, trying to go for a Zealot counterattack. He knows he can't fight into the Lurker Hydra. He needs time to get Tempest out. Hero trying to make a miraculous comeback. Dark jamming it in right now with the Hydra Lurker going ham. Ling Hydra down here on the other side as well, trying to defend against the Zealots. The Hydra's getting into the base. The Lurker's coming forward as well. Colossus Immortal coming in. The Colossus gets sniped. The Tempests are going to start sieging this down, but they take a long time. Tempests are not a high-impact unit. They are a long-range siege unit that gets swelled on. That's right. Dark pulls out his Hydras, thrusts them into the face of Hero and says, how do you like that, big boy? The Archon's taking damage down here. He does get a nice flank. If he had a Storm on those Hydras, it would have been massive, but Hero did not have it. The High Templar gets focused. Dark is loving that Hydra ability. This man is in love. It is a tragedy that he has to go to the military in a few months. It is such a tragedy. Hydras and Lurkers coming forward. His favorite upgrade just got invented and the man has to go to the military. Dark ties up the series 2-2. Alright guys, so unless this is a really quick game, it does look like this will be the last game for today. If it's really quick though, who knows, maybe not. Hero in the top right side of the map. Chronoing probes from the start. Dark is going to go for that 10 Overlord that he has been favoring, which is the right build. It is the right build. I thought he did something different in the first game. But yeah, 10 Overlord. Actually, maybe he went 9. I think he went 9 Overlord at the start. I think 10 is better. Yeah, I think 10 is better. So he goes 10 Overlord, builds the drone. You can extract a trick out one more drone if you want, and that might be even more optimal, actually. doubling these workers up on these slightly closer patches is Dark. He's leaving the top one kind of ignored for now. For those of you just tuning in, we basically have these two players for another 34 minutes or so. So depending on how long this game goes, I might be able to convince them to play another game or two. But since KSL starts in a little bit, the Korean StarCraft League, they both want to play that. I promised them I'd have them free of my grasp and my silly mod games that I want them to play for my own little interests by the time KSL starts. Hey, how's the 8 worker start going? The 8 worker start's going pretty fun. I think these games are being just a bit slower pace, right? Everything's been slowed down. What would you guys say? I'd say that the games don't feel like they're 33% slowed down. Because it's you start with 33% less economy. It feels like the games are being slowed down by maybe 20%, 15%, maybe even. But they're played very standard. They're both playing super macro heavy. We haven't really seen any like rushed tech or really big commitments. I really feel like Glaive Adepts could have been really big as well. I think what surprised me the most is how much action there is and how much the game gets going. And part of that's just because you've got Adepts, you've got Oracles, you've got the way the Reaper is in Legacy of the Void. Like the way all the units interact, it feels like there's pretty much constant interaction on all the different mods I've played, except for the one worker mod. I'll admit the one worker mod, we did have the hatchery started with a hatch first build at 3 minutes. That was a little different. But yeah, I think a lot of people were saying like I was talking to Estrella. I'm going to get Estrella on for some customs as well. And he was like, oh, I think 10, it's like, you know, I think 10 worker could maybe be a good way to like just break up the timings. But, you know, that way it's not like too slow. And I was like, oh, I don't think you realize, Estrella, like how even 9 workers feels so close to 12 workers. Like 10 workers is almost indistinguishable. And one of the reasons you got to factor in is just how percentage-wise. Like if you go from 12 down to 10, it's like a 16.5% reduction in your starting economy. It really doesn't. It does matter for sure. Like it definitely affects things, but it's very subtle. Like at that point, you're literally just changing the timings a little bit of people's build orders. That's like, you're like, haha, I'm going to reset everyone's builds. You got to figure out your numbers and your rhythm again a little bit. Like that's all it does. Whereas 8 workers here feels shockingly similar, in my opinion, to the 12 worker start. It feels very similar in terms of like, yes, the tech kicks in a bit faster compared to things if you choose to do it. But if the players don't do those strategies, then it's just like, okay, the game's maybe 15% slower on average. Like, you know, there's still Adepts in here pretty early. Ling speed kicks in maybe 30 seconds later. Like, it's not that big of a diff. Dark supply blocked on 38, pretty bad again. Every time when the Adepts are here, he forgets to build an Overlord, and he's still not building it. Dark, we're in game 5. This could be the decider, mate. Oh, it just starts an Overlord now. So late on that. He's going to have to build 2 or 3 once again, same as he did last game. So he's cleaned up his opening. He doesn't get supply blocked before 30 anymore, but still having some issues. Good clean up on the Adept. I mean, the Adept does do damage. If I were him, I probably would have kept attacking that Adept. You have to cancel the Shaders hero. Yeah. Dark. Gonna have to do some Spore Tricks to keep these drones alive. Good Spore Trick on the first one. But great positioning and focus fire if Hero can get one more. Great play, dude. Really good play there by Hero. Hero gets 2 drones and 4 Zerglings for 2 Adepts. And gets in here before the Spore's ready. But with 2 Queens... Oh, the Oracle gets 3 kills. Those Queens, I think moving north with that Queen in the natural was a little bit of a mistake. Also, this Queen could have moved up to get a few more hits on that Oracle on the way out. But the Oracle is at least pretty heavily damaged. Ling's going to stop the Adept from getting to the corner, but Hero quick to adjust. All right, third Nexus coming in nice and early. Big supply block for Hero on 48 or so as well. Ooh. Oracle's coming into the main base. We've got 4 Queens there. Only 4 on the map. 2 more building. 5th one pops out. Oh, he goes for the Zerglings. Not every day you see a Protoss dive for Zergling kills. Oh, not worth losing the Oracle, but he gets out on 2 hit points. Oh, Hero counting his lucky stars. That one is going to be put on defense for now. Send that Oracle home. Its job is not to go anywhere near a Queen for the rest of this game. Twilight Council does come in. 3rd and 4th gate. Looks like Hero's going to lean into a slightly faster timing attack while also adding some Adept Oracle here. Recently, Dark, even on the current balance, has had better early game macro, but he's really struggled with this opening. He's got to run his drones. One of the big problems he has is he doesn't run his drones away from these adepts. And this multiple times this has caught him off. He's got to run these drones away. This is why he keeps taking so much damage. He's always caught without enough Zerglings, and he doesn't run his drones away. And it's really costing him. It's costing him a lot of damage. It cost him so much in that other series we were casting just from last week's KSL as well. Oh, Dark. He's so weak to this adept timing recently. Every single time, he's really got to sort out how to deal with the non-glaive adepts. It's just the 6 or 7 non-glaive adepts. He just took so much damage. 13 drones have gone down in total now. The Oracle's coming in on this third. Dark's economy is toasted. But does it matter? He's doing an all-in. Hero knows about it, right? He saw the lair was finished. He should realize this is an all-in. He's pulled off, actually maybe not, because he saw 4 gases. He might not realize that this is an all-in, but there's no Overseer. There's no Overseer to pop a Nidus in the main base. So what's he going to do? Is he just going to throw it behind the natural wall? I wouldn't mind it. He's going to make a Baneling Nest. Dark's completely all in, guys. His Queens come south to push back the Oracles. Forge, probes, gases. Hero has no idea what's happening. He's got Blink already finished in about 20 seconds, though, which is going to really help him with the micro, but Stalkers just aren't the best unit. Nidus on the front. There we go. And he's in. He's in. Lings are in around those Stalkers. Of course, Hero wasn't manning the door. Of course he wasn't. It's Hero we're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 workers, 12 workers, 1 worker. There are a few constants in this universe, but one thing you can rely on, even when it seems like the world's falling apart and there's war and there's chaos and there's madness, Hero will never have a unit in his wall. That is one thing that you can always rely on in this unpredictable and chaotic world and universe. Take solace in that fact. This man will leave the door open. Does it matter though? He's up 30 workers. The Lings get in again, but a force field comes down. Lings going ham. Banelings trying to get in here, but he just can't quite breach that wall. Dark took way too much damage to those 7 adepts earlier, and I think Hero is going to scramble together a defense with his 6 gateways. Zealots warping in. The Stalkers trying to hold the line against the Banelings in his third. The probes are running away in the top of our screen. The Queen's slowly getting cleaned up. The Lings slowly overwhelming. But Hero, I think he's already traded well enough to slow down this advance. He can warp a few more Stalkers in up there. Meanwhile, these Stalkers, they blinked across the wall! Because of course they blinked across the wall! Hero, why did your Stalkers blink across the wall? Why would you ever blink across your wall off into the Queen circling? Oh my god. Oh my. Are you not entertained, Internet? Are you not entertained? The Banelings getting blocked by a pylon. 2 Banelings rolling into the natural. It's neck and neck. The supply is dead even. He blows up a ton of probes in the natural. This game is an absolute poop shoot. It is an absolutely ridiculous game right now. The probes are trying to hold the main. Hero desperately trying to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. I don't think Dark has enough of a reinforce. The Zealot's holding on, more Lings rallying though. Baneling's gonna try to morph for the main, it gets cleaned up. Lings in the natural getting held. Hero frantically trying to micro on both sides. The Stalker's trying to defend. The madness, the chaos, 34 drones to 37. Dark's gonna back off for a second, but only to try to run in again. Oh my golly. He's killed so much, he's gonna try to drone. Dark's gonna try to drone up, dude. He's going to try and drone up. Wow. StarCraft, ladies and gentlemen. Dark and Hero's variety of StarCraft is a very special brand of StarCraft. I can't even speak. He's spreading creep in Hero's base right now. What a savage. He's going to go 36 drone Hydras because that's the play right now. I agree. 36 drone Hydras? Let's do it, son. Unfortunately for him, Hero's going to probe up really hard. And I think Dark's just taking a bit too long to drone up. He took, I think, a long time to rebuild Queens. This is something, whenever Dark does these attacks, he doesn't rebuild Queens at home until he's floating a few thousand minerals, usually. Just one of those little habits that he hasn't quite nipped in the bud, and it does cost him a lot. He's down 8 workers now, but he is holding the drone key down. The question is, can these Lings distract Hero enough to buy him some time? Hero can just blink away here. It should be okay, especially as more Stalkers come down to deal with it. Yeah. I love that this Creep Tumor barely survived, by the way. Still got that Creep Tumor available. Evo chamber coming in for Dark as well. 51 drones with a 4th base on the way. If anyone could turn this into a barn burner from here, it's Dark. He shouldn't. He should just die. But you never know. He's going to go for round 2 of the night as Hero. Any sane player turns around. Hero holds with a force field, probes, and keeps attacking. Mad lad Hero keeps on the aggression. The Lings. Oh, the Stalkers run back and blink across the wall. Guys, please remind me to check about those Stalkers blinking across the wall earlier. Stalkers coming forward. Hydras and Overlords are there as well. Stalkers trying to pull back. Here we go. Okay, Stalker's going to pull back. Hydra's doing some damage. Hydra's just hanging out, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Dark has to tap out. What a wild, wild last game. And I got to go back and check that blink across the wall because that was an insane person's move. That was so funny. I was watching the fight up at the 3rd, and yeah, I think he started beating the queens, and he thought, I think he thinks like I'm killing the queens, but I have to help defend my 3rd, because remember, these Stalkers start getting overwhelmed at the 3rd. So let's watch what happens. Okay, so that was the 2nd wave that got in the natural. Stalkers defend, and somehow I looked away from the 3rd, and we see he's going to blink across this wall because he sees the queens. I kind of get it, blinking the Stalkers across the wall here to trap the queens or whatever, to kill them. But at the same time, oh man, like, because then there's Lings pop out and just kill all the Stalkers. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think preserving those was probably more important, man. GG, well played. Amazing. GG. Really fun series here, guys. Like I said, if the players choose to just play macro builds and play very similar, we don't really see too much difference. Just a standard Hero Dark, crazy chaotic series. Interesting to see that they did play relatively conservative openings. Neither one really tried to do anything off the rails at all, try anything old school, anything completely new that they thought up. It was pretty much the generic Dark Hero matchup with a slightly slower start. So yeah, not too surprising, other than the fact that they chose to play this way because I thought they'd be a bit more creative. But as it is, we said this earlier, doesn't really make a difference if the players choose to play the same. Just has the game very similar flow. It's just a slightly slower build-up, bit of a longer skirmish phase, and into the next step. Arguably as well, damage to workers is more impactful and more potentially game-ending. So things like oracles, you know, getting in mineral lines early could be more sudden at kind of finishing the game this way or that way. But it's not something I've really seen, you know, like it doesn't seem too different. 12 workers to 8 workers. You let the depths in, they do a bunch of damage. You're going to be in a big spot of bother either way. GG, well played. Both players played really well, and they put on a good show. Thank you very much, Hero and Dark, for the show match. GG, well played.